Thank you, Mr. Chair. Good afternoon, members. I am here to present ACR 115, which urges the 6 banks that have open demand accounts with the state of California to reconsider their lending practices and stop lending to gun manufacturers. There is power in leveraging money, social responsibility, and the growing fury around the gun violence epidemic in America. And banks have power. They used their power to divest from South Africa in opposition to apartheid. Many no longer finance private prisons, and they willingly decline to lend to rogue nations with undemocratic intentions. Let's ask them to use their power to help stop more innocents from becoming victims of mass shootings. Public discourse regarding gun violence often looks to the demand factor. This resolution aims to shift that discourse instead to the supply factor. The supply of guns currently exceeds the demand. 14% of California residents own guns. 10% of those gun owners own over 10 guns. Mental illness, video games, and the internet are all commonly cited as the source of gun violence. However, our neighbor to the north, Canada, has all of these things, but far less gun violence. The difference? They have fewer guns. Other industries have taken a stand against gun manufacturers. Delta Airlines and Hertz broke with the NRA following the Parkland shooting, and Dick's Sporting Goods made guns harder to buy. Certain banks have already taken similar action to that which is called for in ACR 115. For instance, Citibank banned retailers that use the bank from offering bump stops and selling guns to underage customers or those who have not passed background checks. Bank of America then came out with its own set of restrictions, ending loans to companies that manufacture adult-style weapons used for non-military purposes. Many banks argue that demanding such divestment action is politically motivated and that banks should be free from political pressure. But protecting the lives of Americans should be a bipartisan, if not entirely, a non-political issue. This resolution does not demand that gun manufacturers halt production. It does not ask civilians to stop purchasing guns. This is not a Second Amendment bill. This is not a divestment bill. This resolution encourages those financial institutions with open demand accounts with the state of California to reevaluate their lending practices, particularly as they apply to gun manufacturers. It asks financial institutions to do as we all should, which is to be accountable for the part we play in a continually growing national problem and to change our behavior to reflect our vision for a safer future. Our country is facing a multi-pronged sickness, and we need multi-strategy solutions. We must all take a look at our habits, our practices, and our efforts to see how we share a part of the collective responsibility for the gun violence epidemic, including our banks. I respectfully ask for your aye vote.